get a little tight, a little busier. We just gonna have to do what we can do.
Right, right. You're right. You are right. I don't know if I have my ain't that in the car. I'm running to get them. No big deal.
Are you watching New Year? Is it New Year's Evil tonight?
Huh? Oh,
New Year's Evil.
NXT.
Yeah,
Uh, I
I'm
look at
recording
the
it.
highlights.
Yeah, I'm recording it. So
I like Stratton, so
it's get a little tight, a little busier. We're live? Yeah, okay. We're streaming right now.
uh, I mean, like I said, I like Stratton. I don't even know what else is on the show. What is it? Oh, Dragunov versus Trick. Oh man, yeah. You know what?
Yeah, that would be a nice match. That'll
I
be
might
nice.
have to come in at the end and watch that. You know,
Yeah, watch whoop that trick.
whoop that Trick. All right. Ah, we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
All the way live.
3G Dub, first show of the year.
2024.
Uh, well, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome in. And we are here. It's kicking off the year with what we really do. Talk wrestling. Uh, kind of got away from that toward the end. My life got a little hectic. New job. It's gonna get even more hectic, as Rob said. So we're gonna get in where we fit in, essentially for the next 4 months. That's all on my journey is gonna be. So, without any further ado, last night was WWE Raw, day one. Took place from San Diego, California. And they kind of treating this whole week with all their New Year's Eve themes shows that were once upon a time pay-per-views. So, well, this was only one time thing because remember we kind of debated this too when they first did day one. You were like, well, they can't do day one unless the damn show falls on the weekend. I mean, New Year's Day falls on the weekend. They can't do the day one.
Right. They kind of found a workaround this year. Did they do one or two of those?
One. That
Just
was the
one?
one with the
Okay.
Fatal Five Way and Brock
Okay.
Lesnar. Yeah. Um, but they it was a pretty decent card for a Monday Night Raw. And it was I would say it was a decent show. I wasn't bored. Um, it kept me intrigued the whole time. So we're not gonna hit every single beat, just the main ones. I do definitely want to talk about the match that kicked off the show for sure. That was Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch. I think when we first started 3GW, or maybe we were a year in. I don't know. But that whole thing went down when Nia struck Becky, and Becky was supposed to face Ronda, but because of that, she broke her nose. She couldn't wrestle, so she ended up facing Charlotte. So we're finally getting this match. What, 5 years in the making?
5 years in the making. Yep.
And I thought they would definitely would save this for like for Royal Rumble. I thought for sure like, oh, they're gonna put that on Rumble. That's a pay-per-view worthy match for sure. But no, we got it here. And but before I go there, let's just talk about the match. Nia Jax looks leaner than she did even when she first came back. So whatever program she's on, she's obviously going harder. She looks better. She's still a force to be working with as far as the women's division. She's still that powerhouse, right? That threat. But she's faster, more mobile. You could tell with Becky being able to do her offense, the sunset flip off the top rope and then being able to, or the power bomb off the top rope and then doing the roll through, all that stuff. Like she's just more mobile, you can tell. And I mean I felt I was nervous for a second when she was on the outside, did that senton to the barricade. It's like, girl, you gonna fall on your damn neck. But I felt it in my bones that I was like, Nia needs to win this. Not being partisan, but Nia needed to win because I just felt like we need to build her up. Becky doesn't necessarily need to win. She's kind of established, never left. Um, that being said, I like the finish. I love the finish. The uppercut knocked out Becky uh into the the Annihilator.
Hmm.
Game over. Game over. I would have given this. I mean, obviously it's on TV, but I still would have given this a low pay-per-view worthy. Honestly, I enjoyed the match. I love Nia's top rope Samoan drop. I thought that was it. I bid on that near fall. I thought that was it. Uh, so yeah, I enjoyed it. Great way to kick off the show.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it started off a little slow, a little clunky, but it really picked up, and I thought it was a really enjoyable match, much more enjoyable than I thought it would be. I was glad to see Nia get the win. I actually thought Becky would, but like you said, Nia needed it more. And so they gave it to her. And you can tell, like you said, Nia is in the gym. She's doing the work. Maybe she feels like, okay, this is my last chance for a big run. I don't know how old she is, but, you know, time in wrestling can be fleeting. Unfortunately, especially, if you're a lady, you don't, the opportunity to be at the top of the ladder is rare,
I think
unless you're
she's
one of the fresh ones like
37 to
Becky, like
38.
Charlotte. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was glad to see her get this win. I enjoyed the match just like you did. I mean, if I was grading it, I would have went just straight pay per view worthy. It would have been low, but I would have just said pay per view worthy.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, not quite the scene from a few years ago, but just a little something, something. And
Yeah, got a little color on Raw.
Nia's your victor. So yeah. All right. Um, I kind of wish they hadn't done this thing at the beginning with Corey Gray. With Corey Gray? No, Wade Barrett and Michael Cole in the ring, and we're gonna have a return of a former WWE champion. And, I didn't look at any dirt sheets. I didn't look at any nothing, none of that. I was like, okay, whoever it is, I'm just gonna be surprised, whatever. And get to that point in the show, and out comes Jinder Mahal. I said,
Maharaj.
I said, okay, well, he is a former WWE champion who's been gone for a bit. Okay, maybe they're gonna. I seriously had in my mind they're gonna repackage him. They're gonna build him back up. He's gonna be going against Seth Rollins at some point. Build him back up. He cut a decent promo. He cut a good promo. Um, Cutting down, it's kind of a layup. Cutting down USA and all that stuff, and the fans, and talking about social media and all that stuff, which is relevant. But I did not see, or I did not feel the electricity in the building, but I should have because, oh my God, The Rock showed up. If you smell, and I was like, oh, him, that former WWE champion. Okay.
Yeah, crowd goes wild.
Yeah. This segment in total was like 22 minutes. Um, Now I still, based on his last visit, was like, okay, he's just there. He's gonna bring some viewership, that kind of thing, and do a favor by not doing a favor for gender, because that's kind of what when you're the Rock, you're that status. You elevate somebody by beating them up. It's a badge of honor taking that people's elbow at this point. So he comes out, and I was waiting for, USA to censor this man. Because he's not this. Nothing he said was PG. From the Iron Sheik compression to uh, I forgot, was it dumbass douchebag? Is that what he said?
Yeah, yeah. I think
It was something douchebag, and I'm
it
just
was
like,
something douchebag.
you
Something
can't
started
say
with a D.
douchebag on TV.
And then he made a joke about his junk, about his
Yeah,
balls, is the word he used.
I was just like, Jesus. Oh, he dropped
You
the
know, man,
word asshole, and they've been censoring asshole since the 90s. So
man, they made an exception for The Rock, and it is prime time. I mean, it was after 9 o'clock, so they probably figured we can let some stuff go.
Yeah, they probably
I've
put.
seen worse on USA. I mean, man, don't they show Chucky on that network, don't they? Or is that, I
Yeah,
guess that's
yeah.
sci-fi.
No, no.
Yeah, yeah. You
USA.
ever watch Chucky? Chucky says much worse than that.
Yeah, maybe it's the whole. We're starting to see the, UFC, WWE, that whole thing kind of meld together here.
I never thought of that. Yeah, very well could
Uh,
be.
so, watching this thing, I'm just thinking it's gonna be run of the mill. Rock cuts somebody down, they go back and forth. He hits the people's elbow, blah blah blah, and he leaves. Okay, which how it looked. They did the run of the mill thing, but then he comes back. San Diego, I'm gonna leave here. Rock's kind of hungry. He's gonna go get something to eat. And I'm like, I was gonna shout out a restaurant or something. Like, where are we going with this? And then he says, should I sit in a booth? Should I sit at a bar? And once you said that, I knew where this was going. Or should I sit at the head of the table? And he pretty much set the table for WrestleMania season, which we'll talk about here in a bit. Um, but your thoughts just on this segment?
Well, first of all, I did not fall for the Jinder Mahal thing. I knew that if this were the Vince McMahon era, I could see where they might think they could get away with that. But you've put this thing on social media. Triple H even came out and said, "Hey, can't confirm or deny, but tune in." And then they start the show by saying a former champ. You cannot bring out Jinder Mahal and think that's
You're
going to
not
sell
bringing
the
that
house
shit.
down. Yeah, you can't do that. I was thinking maybe Big E. Maybe Big E was back. And,
That would
and
have
that
been
would have been
awesome.
acceptable.
Yeah. Oh
But then
yeah.
my other
Oh yeah.
choice was The Rock because we, we all saw that Pat McAfee interview earlier in the year, which kind of left open the possibility that maybe something might happen between The Rock and Roman. So I thought that was an opportunity. And last night, there The Rock was referencing that very match.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of wish he hadn't done that, but it is what it is.
Man, they're trying to generate interest and maybe sell tickets. Now, I don't know if the
Yeah.
match is going to take place at Mania or before, but
Right.
you know, I'm sure I bet a lot more WrestleMania tickets sold today after last night.
Definitely. Better safe than sorry. But yeah, I think they were trying to kind of I in my mind, I'm thinking they did the whole Pat McAfee thing. Let's just gauge the interest in this, check the temperature in the room. The people still want to see this. And clearly they did. So now they're gonna try to tell the story. And everybody online is like, well, yeah, 2050, Cody Rhodes is gonna be still trying to finish the story. And I don't know. I don't think they're gonna screw him. Um, After learning that the Elimination Chamber has 60,000, it's a 60,000 seat stadium. Okay, I could see them doing something with The Rock there. That's a real humbling thing for him to do. For him to, if because this probably be his last match, like has to be. Um, and not at Mania, that's where I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I get it. It's a big stage. It's Australia, okay, which also may provide some difficulty for this man in his schedule. So trying to keep all that stuff in mind. But it would make sense if Roman was to beat him at Elimination Chamber and then still go on to face Cody at Mania. Because you're just making that victory over Roman that much bigger because he just beat Big Cuz. And we would buy, there would be a little more intrigue, I think, if you were to Rock was to go for the championship at Elimination Chamber. Because you could go, well, maybe he wrestles both shows. You can't disregard it. So it would definitely be more intriguing if the championship's on the line, if they do it first at Elimination Chamber. That I'll say. Because he could beat Roman there, but then who does he face at Mania? I don't know. I don't want to overthink all that right now, but hey,
Yeah, and I'll just be quick. I've been trying to stay off the dirt sheets too, but one little blip that I did come across is that the people in Australia did request to have The Rock on the show. I had read that that was not agreed upon by WWE, but now, you know, it looks like maybe that is the case. Obviously, they would want Rock on the show to wrestle, but
Right.
for whatever reason, I just can't see this match between him and Roman, a match that big, happening in Australia at Elimination Chamber. I still say that's a WrestleMania match some way, somehow. But look, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. And WrestleMania season has kicked off with a bang, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Now I am curious what they're gonna do with this man. This after this championship match, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship, fitted main event. I like that this crowd didn't just tune out after The Rock left because they were up for this match. They were up for Seth Rollins coming out, and so kudos to San Diego. Um, I thought this was a hard hitting match. Um, I'll even go as far as to say I like this match better than I like the one that was the Crown Jewel. Um, I did think this whole Money in the Bank briefcase is getting tired. Okay, this man didn't try to cash in so many times, and here's why I hated this one so much. It was like, okay, Seth knocked y'all down, and then y'all just stood there. So the whole ending of the match, I'm thinking, oh, he'll probably just get back up and try cashing again. Like, okay, you're not just because you got thwarted doesn't mean you can't still do it. Like that I didn't like. They should have just had them leave ringside after they got beat up. That's I don't even think that's nitpicky. I think that's tacky. It was tacky just having Damian Priest just stand up like, this big 6'5" dude that got hit in the mouth, and that's all it took. Well, then you don't need to have that briefcase then, bro. Um, I like how they made it seem like Drew was this close. He was. Um, but in the end, it was Seth Rollins getting the win here, with the stomp. And I just don't know what they're doing with Drew. If he's on his way out and they're just trying to book him the best they can on his way out, or if they're trying to just ramp up this heel turn. I don't know. But he's taking a lot of losses the last few months. So, but
Yeah,
if I was to grade the match, I think this would still be a pay-per-view worthy match. Low, probably low again, but still better than uh Crown Jewel.
yeah, I would agree with that grade. I agree that I don't know what they're doing with McIntyre. After what I saw with The Rock, I thought, okay, maybe McIntyre gets over in this match. Seth has had a decent run. I'm not saying it's been a really long run, but a decent run. And I think that McIntyre would be a worthy champion. And if he were to win, well, then, you have an opponent that Cody could still challenge for the world championship at Mania, right? If Cody wins the Rumble, he could choose to challenge Drew. I think people would buy that. Cody, the big face, Drew, the big heel. I think people would buy that. Didn't happen. But yeah, now you have to wonder, where do they go with McIntyre at this point? I mean, it just seems like he just can't get over the hump. Uh, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Could he win the Rumble?
He could. Then who does he challenge?
Yeah, I don't want to see him and Seth again. I don't know. It's
So,
gonna be
well, we don't. Do you want to see him and Roman again?
no,
Okay,
no.
then what? He's going to challenge for a world championship. He's not going to challenge Gunther.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what they do with him. It's just, it's a shame. He really is a great talent. He's got the look. Dude stays in shape. Um, I think he's way better as a heel. I think he should just, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He's just floating right now. They don't know what to do with him.
Yeah,
But
he's
they
in no
don't want
man's
to. They're
land.
not throwing him away. They're keeping him relevant. But they're just like, yeah, but Seth's still the guy. So I
Look,
don't.
there's a lot of time between here and Mania. There's two big pay-per-views So I mean,
Oh, you
anything
know
can
what
happen.
though? He did, and this I'll leave this. Let this be the last thing I say. He did make take a shot at CM Punk a few weeks ago.
Okay,
So,
now that's an intriguing matchup, which to me would set him up for another loss, another big loss on a big stage.
I don't know, man. CM Punk ain't looking too good. I mean, unless he makes a
That
drastic
doesn't matter.
turnaround.
That doesn't matter. They're not going to let that stop him from pushing him.
If the crowd turns, yeah, they will. Because
Yeah, man, fans are fickle.
hey, they are
CM Punk
fickle.
wouldn't be
So
the first,
exactly, they're fickle. They were happy when he came back.
right?
So
But
if
man, I mean,
you show
I
up in the
just don't
ring on
think
that
that.
bullshit, they're gonna be like, "No, this ain't the guy."
Yeah, look, I guess I haven't seen him since he's been back in WWE, but I heard that MSG show was not good. I was not impressed with much of his work in AEW. So I'm just hoping he gets better because, yeah, what I've seen, not
Yeah,
impressed.
yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Thank you all for tuning in. If you did, and if you're catching this video on demand, let us know in the comments what you all thought of Raw Day One. What you think? WrestleMania season's kicked off. We here. I mean, it is January. That's what January is for. But last night, for sure, kicked down that door. So, um, yeah. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you all again. Kicking off 2024. We're gonna make this the best year that you've had just yet. Not just on here, but in your own life, my life, Rob's life. 2024, best year yet. Let's do it. Take care, everybody. We'll speak to y'all soon. Peace. Where is the button?
Nice and tight.